Welcome back to another episode of MK's Details and Deep Dives. Today we're going to do a super quick run through of all the most important tips and tricks to apply the Meguiar's hybrid paint coating. That is what comes in this kit. This is a new product. It's only been out for a few months. This is not the same as any of the hybrid ceramic items that you're used to from Meguiar's in the last couple of years. This is a true blue real deal coating. I helped develop this when I was still at Meguiar's, and this is a product that punches well above its weight class in terms of what it's able to deliver. Truly an impressive product. The hydrophobics, I would put them on par or better than pro level coatings that you're going to potentially spend, $1,000, $1,500 for that coating for. The really unique thing about this coating, and the reason that I think it's something worth checking out for anybody that's interested in trying a coating, is that it is super user friendly. That said, there are a few little nuances about how to apply it and get the most out of it. So that's what we're going to go through today. So we're going to show you all the steps that you need to apply the coating successfully and get the most out of it. Getting right into it, applying the hybrid paint coating, the very first step is you're simply going to want to wash your vehicle. There's nothing really particularly unique or crazy here. The only thing I'll really emphasize is that it's very important that you get all the gunk and dirt and water out of all the nooks and crannies. So gas caps, mirrors, handles, things like that. Use a blower or something, or really make a point to get everything out of those nooks and crannies. Later on, it will create issues for you if that starts running down while you're applying the coating. After you've washed the vehicle, the next thing that you're going to want to do is inspect the paint and figure out if you have above surface bonded contaminants, above and below surface bonded contaminants. To do this, you're going to take a Ziploc bag, put your hand inside of it, and either use a quick detailer or some of your leftover car wash soap out of the bucket, wet some of the paint, and simply with your hand in the bag, wipe on the surface. It actually magnifies any bumps or anything that's bonded on there that you may not have felt with your bare skin. If you're feeling these bumps, that's an indication there's something on there. You're going to want to use either a clay bar, a synthetic clay, a clay disc on a polisher, or potentially an iron removing chemical. I have a whole nother long video, link included, that will cover all of your different options there, how they work and why they work. I won't get into that here. After you've done your decontamination, if it's necessary, and it usually is even on a new car, the next thing you want to do is inspect the paint again under a light. There are different options that are out there. They can be called inspection lights or color match lights. And you can also use direct sunlight. If you're going to use the direct sun, I recommend wearing sunglasses when you're looking at the paint if it's a lighter colored car, because sometimes it's so bright it blows out and you can't see anything. What you're looking for at this stage is, are there swirls? Are there light scratches? Is there oxidation? Is there stuff that is happened to the paint that is going to make it less glossy and not look the way that you want it to ideally look? If they're not severe, if you're okay with the level of swirls that are in your paint, then you can move on at this step. If it is really severe though, if you notice like, man, this thing looks like 100 spiders laid spider webs on my paint in the sun or under a light, then I will say you want to absolutely make sure that you're going to apply 2 coats of the hybrid paint coating for sure if you have the severe swirls. And the reason is you have more unevenness in the paint that you need to fill in, and the 2 coats will help to give you all the properties you want from the coating. If you have light swirls or you're just not set up and prepared to do a polish or a compound and a polish on your paint, then do not worry, the coating will definitely still work even without that. After you've done your wash, your inspection, your decontamination, and your inspection for the condition of the paint, the next thing you're going to do is use a product that is included in the kit called Surface Prep, part number M122. This is a real pro developed. You can buy this by the gallon in Meguiar's Pro. And this is a product that is engineered to remove the oils and the residues from polish and compound for if you're doing a paint correction step. The other thing is sometimes you may have some leftover residue from your hands or from other processes in your wash process. You're still going to want to use this even if you don't do a paint correction to make sure that your paint is as clean as possible before putting the coating on. And that is because this is a real coating that needs to bond and coat the paint. If you've got something on top of the paint, then your coating is going to bond to that, and it's going to hurt your durability because that is going to be less durable and released from the car. So M122 surface prep. How you use this. I'm gonna spray this personally on about 2 or 3 square feet up to maybe like a smaller door panel out of the sun and let it sit on there for about a minute. I'm then gonna take my microfiber towel. Now the kit comes with 2 of these. They are 16 by 24. It's a good sized towel. My suggestion to you would be to get at least 1 more towel and use that for this step. Use your other, maybe a used towel or a different towel to remove the oils and everything from the paint with the surface prep. Save these for removing the coating. These are really great towels to remove the coating. They're bigger, you can get a big surface area, and so you wanna save those for that. After you've done the surface prep on the whole vehicle, all of the surfaces, the next thing that you're ready to do is actually apply the coating. Now in the kit itself, it's going to come with what is called an even coat applicator. This is basically a microfiber applicator wrapped over a sponge, and the coating itself in an aerosol can. Real quickly, just because it's an aerosol does not mean that it's not a coating. There's a lot of people that don't understand the chemistry and they think that that's not possible. It's actually the exact same kind of chemistry that you're gonna find in a liquid bottle plus a propellant. The huge advantage a lot of people don't even think about though is in a normal little liquid coating bottle. Once you've opened it and started to use it, you've started a timer. It is gonna have a shelf life, and it's usually 30 to 90 days where it starts to cure inside that bottle because it's been exposed to the air and that moisture cure process begins. You don't have that with an aerosol can. Huge advantage. It's gonna last you years that you could keep this and do touch-ups down the road and not have to worry about it curing in your can. Huge, huge advantage a lot of people overlook. There's also enough product in this to do several vehicles, or your one vehicle, you could probably keep it coated and performing at a very high level for 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years with a single can of this product. So once you go to apply this product, when you first do it, you're going to spray this product onto the face of this pad. Do it away from the car, and you're gonna spray for about 3 seconds the very first time. Realize it's gonna soak a little bit more in when you first use it. You're then gonna place it onto the paint. I like to hold it like this, not super hard in one spot, even out my pressure, and you're gonna apply it in a crosshatch pattern. Is it super important that you go left to right and then up and down? In terms of the coating performing, no. The reason for that is that you're getting even coverage. That is the reason that they suggest that. So you follow the lines of the panel, you're less likely to miss a spot. If you do circles, is it gonna not work? No, it'll work perfectly fine. There are some coatings that you may get some high spot and weird things if you use a different pattern. This is not one of them. It goes on very thinly and levels itself out very well. The other thing was when you're applying this coating, anywhere from a 2x2 to a 3x3 area at a time, add more product to the applicator, and then repeat that till you coat a whole panel. So whether that's the hood, the roof, the door, whatever that is. If it's closer to the lower end of the temperature range, around 60 degrees is about the minimum we recommend applying this, then I would let it sit for at least 5 minutes. If you are on a hot day, if it's in the mid upper 70s into the 80s, then a minute or 2 after you've applied this on there, you can go back and start to remove the coating. The nice thing about this coating, real quick, is that it has something built into the formula to keep it from fully curing until you remove the excess. No other coating does it quite like that. So that high spot risk that you hear about that's very intimidating and can cause problems, where you get this like rainbow looking flash and you can't wipe it off, you cannot do that with this product. It's very user friendly from that perspective. You could even miss a spot and come back days later and just spray a little bit more onto your applicator, wipe that area, and it will allow you to wipe off and remove that excess. It's super user friendly. You do not need to be intimidated by this. If you've never done a coating before in your life, I've been applying coatings for well over 10 years. This is the most forgiving coating that there is on the market. When you go to remove it, again, fold your towel into 1/8. You know, if you take this towel and you bunch it up in a ball and then start wiping on it, you've basically got 1, maybe 2 sides to your towel. That's gonna be a problem. This coating has a ton of actives. It's almost entirely active, which means the stuff that coats your paint. Microfibers have a limited amount of capacity of what they can hold. And you need all the capacity you can get because there's so much active material you're gonna be removing. If you start to notice that it looks like it's almost smearing and you're not getting it off all the way, then that means that your towel is full. That's why I recommend saving your 2 Supreme Shine towels that come with the kit for the removal process only, and using a 3rd towel for the surface prep. Other than that, you just simply repeat that process around the vehicle. And you can go over your paint, you can go over rubber, you can go over plastics, you can go over all these different surfaces. I've personally, this isn't official, but I personally have found fantastic effects on kind of rough pebble texture plastics, black plastics, and seen fantastic durability there. So I go over all these exterior surfaces. It won't bond super well to the glass, but other than that, it will bond to a lot of these different surfaces. You can do your headlights, you can do your taillights, and it will make all these areas easier to clean. You simply, again, repeat that process. One coat is fine if you did a paint correction or you have very minimal swirls. The second coat, here's one big important thing to know. Don't wait more than 1 hour from when you put the first coat on, or it will reject that new coat. The way this coating works is it rejects chemicals, including itself, once it fully sets up. Other than this, don't get the car wet for 12 to 24 hours. Ideally, don't wash it for a full week. It's still gonna be fully curing over the course of the first week. If you get something on it during that week, take a microfiber towel with water only and gently wipe it off. That's all you really need to know. Maintenance-wise, the hybrid ceramic wash and wax, check out my other video on that. Phenomenal product. Use that once or twice a month, and that's a great way to maintain it. You don't have to though. Or the hybrid ceramic detailer is another great option if you want to boost up, or after several months, if you start to see some spots start to die down just slightly, you can use either the wash or that detailer to boost those back up. Expect to get a year or more out of this. The number one thing you need to know in terms of maintenance though is regular washing is key. If you go more than a week or two of allowing a significant amount of gunk, dirt, whatever sitting on it, it can mess with the coating. This is true of all coatings, but that is the most important thing to keep this thing kicking butt and giving you the phenomenal self-cleaning properties. You will be blown away, I promise you, at how insanely slick this thing is, and it doesn't just wash away like a lot of other products out on the market after 1 or 2 washes. That's pretty much everything. If I missed something, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for popping in.